Welcome to The Firehouse, the show dedicated to the brave men and women who serve
Hello,
our
everybody,
community.
and welcome to The Firehouse on WRHU 88.7 FM. I am your host, Chris Moses, and today, sitting with me in The Firehouse, listen, we have something a little bit different today, okay? Y'all are used to us bringing in firefighters, and we interview the firefighters, but we wanted to do something else because we want to highlight a film that is in production, that they're trying to get going. So we want to give some momentum, and that is what we do, right? That is what we do. So today, what I have with me is Kazi and Kayla. What is going on? How you doing?
Hey, we're frozen.
So they're from LA, right?
I am.
You're
yeah,
from LA.
so a little different.
Yeah, I'm originally from Chicago, but then
Okay. So you know cold.
that doesn't mean I like it.
I was told when you go to Chicago, you have to buy a coat from Chicago. Chicago's real cold.
Chicago is, I don't know. I lived in Chicago, right? But then I lived in New York City, and then like if you get caught in a New York City wind tunnel,
Yeah, it's
like when you turn off an avenue onto a street, you get caught in one of those and you get your breath knocked out of you. I never had that happen to me in all the years in Chicago, but I had that happen to me in New York. So
Yeah, the wind makes it no joke.
it makes it no joke. And then you're from LA, so you're like, what is
I
going
don't
on
understand.
there?
What is all this white stuff? It's like in piles and mountains next to the road.
Mess is parking up. Let me just let you know. All right,
yeah,
so
That's crazy.
I'm pretty sure the listeners are like, well, who is Kazi? Who is Kayla? Like, you're just sitting here, Chris, talking to them. Who are them? So if you can, I'll let you start, Kazi. If you can explain why you decided to come to, the Firehouse, what we're kind of promoting, what we're talking about, I'll let you go.
sure. I guess the reason I'm here is our writer, director, producer extraordinaire, Courtney King.
Courtney.
Yeah.
Courtney. She's in the studio right here behind us. She can't see us, but she's right over there. Say hi. They can hear you.
Hey. So Courtney's been working on this project about John McNamara called Johnny Mac for a long time. We met years ago in LA when I was working on Dolomite Is My Name. And I don't know. We just, for some reason, Courtney felt like Johnny Mac was a good fit for me.
Okay.
And I did some table reads, I think, and just kind of helped out where I could. And I mean, the story definitely resonated with me. I've always felt like the events surrounding 9/11, probably one of the most terrible things that ever happened in my lifetime and to the country.
Yes.
And it was to hear this intimate story about what happened to John McNamara and his wife, his family, and the firefighters who were first responders. Like, the general public just sees images of the towers falling, right? A lot of us just weren't privy of the aftermath. And hearing about that, from the first moment I think Courtney told me about it, I just felt like it was a story that 100% absolutely needed to be told.
And you actually play Johnny Mac, right? That's it.
Yes.
Yeah, you play Johnny Mac, right?
Yes.
And then we have Kayla here, and you play his wife, Jen, right?
I do.
You play his wife, Jen. So a little bit, Kazi, if you could tell me a little bit about Johnny Mac, while preparing for this role, like, what did you learn about him?
Oh, a lot. We, I guess a few summers ago, we got to hear and participate in interviews with Jen and those who were around John. He was a strong person. I mean, I think that's probably the definition of strength. And he had a fierce sense of duty to his community, to his firefighting brothers.
Yeah.
That I watched an interview with him. I think it was shortly before he passed, and it just resonated with me because here you have someone whose body is completely turned on them because of what he was exposed to,
Yep.
and he was a fighter to the end. So like, I don't think that you have to, that has to come almost from like a holy place, you know, almost a saint-like strength to be able to have this sense that like, you know, death is at your doorstep, but you're still not going to stop, you know, and you know it's coming. It's not like you can't see it. It's like in your face, and you're like, okay. And I think that we need more people like that
in the world.
100%.
Just in the
100%.
world. In the world, we need more people like that.
Yeah.
So Kayla, let me move over to you, right? So playing his wife, right? I know that must be intense. Like playing his wife, knowing that story. So like, where do you draw from to do something like that?
Yeah, it's a different type of awareness and responsibility when you're portraying someone who is alive today still, and carries this deep sense of like loyalty and agency with what her husband went through, to be able to carry on his legacy, not only through family with their son, but the foundation and everything that she's been able to provide for first responders and their families. When I first, heard about her story, I felt very, very connected to her, even though I've never experienced anything like this myself. And I was newer to this world, and this that this was even something that went on. And so I feel like a profound sense of responsibility and like honor in being able to share her story. I feel very like deeply connected to her, even though I haven't known her for very long. I love the story, and the more I get to learn and, you know, feel that I can sort of be some type of conduit to like get her story more out there, I don't take that lightly. So
take it lightly.
Yeah, I feel just like a connection to her, and hope that I get to do right by her and tell a story.
So when you first read the script, and I'm going to come to you because I'm going to ask you this as well. When you first read the script, were you a little nervous knowing that you're portraying like these are real people with real stories? Like, did it get you nervous? Like, how did you feel when you first read that script and saw what you'd be doing?
Yeah, I think that I
Ladder Suite, they're transforming emergency services with smart, easy-to-use software built by first responders for first responders. Their fully integrated CAD and RMS solution are designed around real-world operations because no two agencies are the same. That's why Ladder Suite is flexible, customizable, and built to fit your needs. Hosted on secure, redundant cloud services, their platform delivers reliability you can count on when it matters most. And with a dedicated support representative for every agency, they're with you from onboarding to daily operations. Ladder Suite, built for the mission. And if you head over to their Instagram, drop a comment and let them know that the Firehouse on WRHU 88.7 FM.
Yeah, I think that I just have I have the desire to like tell it correctly. So that's why I love the opportunity to talk with her, to hear from her, to watch interviews or content that's been out there, because I just want to bring forward her energy and everything that she puts into it. So it's really I just don't take it lightly, I guess. Yeah. It's exciting every time we've had a different version of a script, or we've wanted to try something a little different, and being able to have the connection with her to make sure that we're checking in and telling the accurate, like, true story is very meaningful.
It's a lot. So I got to ask you too, like, first reading that script, did you get, nervous? Like, wow, I'm really portraying real situations, real emotions, a real person that this happened to. Like, what was going through your head?
Not nervous at all.
Okay.
It's just getting a profound sense of like the character through the script, because you're like, yes, I'm portraying a person that did live at one point in time, but you kind of look at what you can derive from the script in terms of bringing that story. And we have gone through different iterations. And we had a short version that I felt really hit the nail on the head in terms of their relationship dynamic and who John was at various times in his life. And I was able to formulate, off of watching his interview and just reading the screenplay, and then even hearing from Jen, I was able to really formulate what I felt like he would have been like. I think. I mean, in my mind, cocky actor talk. I did it so well.
No, getting to hear these stories.
That hearing about the anecdotes, like from other firefighters that knew him, like the little things that he would do, like really, really helped, like get an idea.
You got to tell us. We want to know. Like,
so like playing, like he would always play jokes on everybody.
Okay.
Right. So like, the
true firefighter.
You'll see like, you see a clip where I set up Cowboy Cerrone to get water dropped on his head. Right. Like that's John.
That's him.
I
love the scene when you're dancing in front of
I'm like,
in front of Kayla. Well, Jen,
of course.
And I think Jack said it in an interview. He said my dad was a jokester.
Okay, yeah,
right, and that kind of stuck with me, which meant any opportunity to do something, he's doing it, no matter how childish it is. Right, so that's almost like if you have this chance to put a kick me sticker on somebody.
But also,
question for the both of you, right? I assume that you all didn't know each other before you started this project, right?
Not well. We knew each other, but
not enough to be husband and wife.
Yeah.
Not enough to be husband and wife. So tell me how that goes as an actor. Now we have to be husband and wife. You kind of don't know this person, you know him, but like, how does that go? We'll start with you, Kayla. Like, how is that? And chime in if you want.
I mean, it goes along with what we've been talking about, where it's like you hear all these stories and you start to get a really understanding. I have Jen, I'm still able to talk to and get an understanding for what their relationship was like. So that was able to just so beautifully color. I guess just knowing and hearing those things, I get a sense for how it felt getting to talk to her. And glean what she used to feel, still feels about him and their relationship. I take that in, I soak it in, and it's and Kazi has done just such a beautiful job of like breathing life into
that
John today.
Into that role.
I don't know. It kind of was effortless, I feel.
Well, it's not me. It's not Kazi and Kayla. It's John and Jen.
Yeah.
So if you understand the relationship between characters, and this just goes for acting in general, like if you understand how you feel about the character that your character feels about the other character, right? Like that's like having an opinion about that other person in the scene with you, right? And knowing how they felt about each other based on what Jen had told us and whatnot. It's very easy because it's not really about what you feel as an actor. It's not Kazi, what do I feel about Kayla? It's what does John feel about Jen?
Yeah.
Okay.
And if you just live in those circumstances, it becomes, it's like, you're not even really thinking about it, right? You're just doing it.
You just go.
And I think that's how it wasn't challenging. I mean, especially if you're committed, right? Like, and then also it does help that you fundamentally, like the person that you're working with, is committed with you, right?
Yeah.
So like you're both committed to bringing this to life. So that makes it a lot easier. See, like if Kayla had shown up to set like, like half drunk and be like, I'm just here to play, then it becomes a challenge, right? Like, if she had but that's not where we're at. Like we're all committed to doing the best that we possibly can. And the stuff that we shot was very run and gun. We didn't have the luxury of doing it 1,000 times. Like it was like,
Truly.
Let's get it. And do what we have to do. So when I think synergy helps performance and synergy with crew and cast. If everyone's on the same page, it's probably the same at the Firehouse, right?
Yep.
Everyone knows what they have to do. Everyone knows what needs to be done. You hear that alarm, you hit. For us, it's like you hear action,
and
you live in that moment to the best of your ability, and you just experience it right there.
Yeah. How are the conversations for you, Kayla, with Jen? Like, what do you, like, I don't know. I'm not an actor, so I don't know. Like, what do you ask her to get into this role? Like, what are the things that you want to pull from her, right? Because I can assume there's not tons of videos of her. Like, you had probably a lot of, Johnny put out videos and you were able to get that. But for Jen, I guess it wasn't. She's more in the background, right? So how does that work? Like, to see that and feel that relationship, and then just take on her and who she is.
Yeah, I mean, besides like various interviews or like we've been able to collect the stories from her and stuff like that. Just being around her, it's a little hard to describe how much you can glean and like take off of someone just by being around them, seeing the way they interact with other people, the way they speak about, her relationship or her son or the foundation, like anything. It's, you can see what tenacity and gumption and courage she lives her life. So it's a little hard. It's not as much about the questions that I can ask her. Although I love hearing the stories. It's the colorful stories tell me so much more than, if I were to have like a list of interview questions or something, I feel, because it's in the remembering or in the pride and the commitment she still has to this moment through the rest of her life to what she believed in, the man she loved, the purpose of her foundation, like all of that, the passion, like
I get it. Yeah.
I'm able to feel that by being around her. And then I'm
her.
able to emit that, I guess, through my,
put that right out.
Yeah, at least that's my goal. So.
Okay.
So if that makes sense.
I mean, yesterday at that event, like I was sitting there and I was.
So let's talk about what event, just so the listeners know.
The Johnny Mac Foundation Gala that was on last night. That's what we were here in Long Island for. Okay. I don't know how you felt, but I'm sitting there and I'm watching Jen and Jack speak in front of all these people, and I was like. In that moment, I felt like, I was like, John would be so proud.
Oh my God.
I was like, oh my God, that is his son. I was like, that is his son in front of all of these people, just like speaking from his heart.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people can do that.
You're right. Stand up in front of all
like,
those people.
Think about that. Think about that. That's like the fear of public speaking is real, right? So you have this young man, and I remember when I first met him, he was still a teenager. And I'm looking at, and I'm like, there he is. Yeah. Looking smooth in his bow tie.
With such confidence.
And they're handing the mic off from each other. And I was like, look at this team.
Yep.
I was like, look at this team. And I was just like, I really, really felt at that moment. I was like,
Johnny was watching, shining down,
looking
so
like, proud. Like, look at what they've built. Look what they've done. Look at the people that they brought together.
That's right.
And I think that made me think about like legacy, right? Mm-hmm. Like legacy, like they're so impressive to me, because I think a lot of when people go through tragic events and they go through pain, I think it becomes so easy to just shut down.
Yeah.
Like, and just let it eat at you. And some people never recover from the death of loved ones, like ever. Yeah. And they just close up. And I mean, I didn't know Jen, like, when John did pass, but the fact that, like, I'm sure obviously there's still grieving going on. It's just, that's probably where the motivation comes from. Yeah. But to see what they built after he's passed and still fighting the fight, It's just it's I don't know any other words like you know, it sounds
Yeah.
like cliche, but like
No.
incredible, you know, incredible, like actually like, but if you know their journey, and I'm not saying I know the journey, but like from all of the information that we've been given from the interviews and just to see, be like, this was the point to see
Yeah.
where it's at now and where is it going to go. I mean, because Jack is young.
I
Yeah.
know.
He's young.
And he
So on top
stood
of
up
it.
there
Oh my
ready to go,
gosh.
Yeah.
doing what he's
I
doing.
was
mean,
like-
there's years to build. So I was just wholly, you know, just awestruck, really.
Yeah, it
I
was
love
beautiful.
it. I love it. I love it. All right, so we got more questions for you, but first, what we're gonna do is we're gonna get into the game that we call the Flash over here. Okay,
Oh.
we're gonna get into a little game, right? So I'll ask you a couple of questions. You'll kind of, you know, like I'll ask you Android or Apple, and you just got to tell me the answer really quick. All right, test a little bit of your knowledge as well as just, you know, find out about you. Okay. All right. So, Kazi, Kayla, are you ready for the flashover?
Ready.
I think so.
Let's get the flashover going. So I guess the way we can do this is you're going to answer as Johnny. What do you think Johnny would do, right?
Oh, wow.
Right? What do you think that he will do? Okay. So let's take a look. All right. Are you ready? Do you think that Johnny would rather go to a parade in March in 100-degree weather or go over there and do a calendar photo shoot for the Firehouse? Which one do you think?
Calendar.
That's it. He's taking it off. He's like this. That's what Johnny do. Now, wife.
Yes.
What do you think Jen would say? Would she say, dude, keep your clothes on and go walk? Or do you think she'd be like, you know what, Johnny, show it? What do you think?
I think she'd be like, yeah, I already knew you were going to say that. Of course.
And she would
That
just
just-
be like,
That just figures. I could have guessed that the moment you said it. Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
I'm not going to be able to stop him. So,
There you go. See,
Have at
there
it.
you go. So just go ahead and go do
ladies,
it.
gentlemen.
All right, so we'll come back over here, right? Knowing, you know, how Johnny was, right? Do you think that he, if was at a fire, right? He pulls up to the fire. Do you think that he would want to take the young guy and show them into the fire and show them what to do? Or he'd say, nah, give me the older guy and let's go and go put this out. What do you think he would have done?
Oof,
That's
sure.
a hard one.
I think I don't know, his protective instinct, right? Like the fact that he was at the pile, and I feel like he would want to do what was probably the thing to extinguish the fire, whatever would
So
lead
he'd
to
be
that
like, let's
from
get this
point
old
A
guy
to
and let's
point
put this out.
and put this out and get it done. And I think that comes from, like, at least my interpretation of him is like that there was a protective instinct in him.
There was.
Yeah.
Okay. So back over here.
Mm-hmm.
Kayla, Jen, the wife, right? How do you think that she felt? And this is more of a question. I just want to know. Things come to my head and I'm all over the place
Love
on
it.
this show sometimes. How do you think she felt knowing he's going into fires, going to, at the time, 9/11? What do you think that she was feeling?
Well,
In the heart of Blue Point, New York, the Johnny Mac Foundation stands as a beacon of hope and resilience. Founded in memory of FDNY Firefighter John F. McNamara, who lost his life to 9/11 related cancer, this foundation embodies his enduring motto, whatever it takes. To supporting first responders and their families, the Johnny Mac Foundation is committed to making a long-lasting impact. Join us in honoring John's legacy and making a difference. Visit at johnnymacfoundation.org to learn more and contribute.
well, she was always aware of the risks, and he wouldn't hesitate to do anything of his duty and his job, anything to help another person, a neighbor. I mean, she was aware that that's just who he was.
Yeah.
So I think there's still fear for safety
Of course.
all the time.
Of course. my husband doing this.
But no surprise that he would be on the front lines,
Yeah.
that he would be saving absolutely anyone he could, that he would be just giving all of himself for the people, for whatever he could do.
I love it.
So,
I love it. I love it. All right.
Such a mix of emotions.
Just both, right? Like I can imagine, as firefighters do what they do, and firefighters just go in. There's loved ones that are like sitting there, like, dude, are you gonna come? Like, what's gonna happen?
Yeah.
So it's always a lot. All right, let's keep going here. All right, Kazi, do you think? And you kind of answered this question already, but we're gonna ask again. Do you think Johnny would have rather sat right in the firehouse and told an epic save story, or prank his partner? Which one do you think he's doing?
He's pranking.
He's pranking.
Every,
he's pranking, right?
Every possible chance he got.
Maybe sit down and say, "Hey, let me tell you this story," and then do something
and do
else.
a prank while you're doing it.
I was gonna say,
you're like, yo, sit down. So then he sits down, and then whatever he's sitting is like on some.
Because the prank will be a great story, and that will get more stories.
Yeah, so he sat down on the chair, and the chair had the glue on it. Then he tried to get out, but he couldn't. I feel
I
like
see the voice. So did you kind of like change your voice when talking?
I have a Johnny voice.
Okay, so you got to give us a Johnny voice. Go ahead, give us one of the lines. Give us a Johnny voice, and then I want to hear Jen's voice. I got to hear it.
I don't know, Jen doesn't want to hear about what I gotta say. I mean, see, that's what I gotta deal with. Yeah, she thinks that's gonna stop me. It's not gonna stop me.
It's not gonna. Let's hear it.
Well, I'm just gonna say that Jen doesn't have an accent.
Wait, first of all, she sounds Jen. No, you do. I've never heard her talk, but go ahead, keep going.
As Jen, I don't have an accent. I have to work on it still.
You got it.
She doesn't think she has an accent. To me, she does, because I'm not from the East Coast.
I mean, Jen doesn't have like a my cousin Vinny. You know what I mean?
No.
Which that a lot of times that's like everybody has like the regional. Like if you're from LA, hi, you're like, let me go, hey, right? You're like, what?
Chiller.
Wow.
That's the weather that does that to you.
So you just mellow out. You mellow out.
Snow and hail coming down.
You come out east, you're like, hey, it's brick out here.
Let's go.
I got time to talk to you.
I gotta go.
What are you talking to me for? Like that was like. That's like the culture clash, right? You get that East Coast culture.
Yeah.
Like you might not. It's when you go East Coast and then you go West. And I remember the first time I went from New York to LA, and people were moving at LA speed.
Yeah.
Man,
much faster or what?
I'd be like, yo, Chipotle guy, just put the shit. I mean,
that's okay.
Put the stuff in the thing. Let's go.
Let's go.
I got somewhere to go. Like,
so it is New York is the fastest. We're all over the place.
And then
the East Coast.
The friendliness gets you too, right? So like you go to these other places and people are like friendly to you, and you're like,
you're weird.
What's wrong with you?
Oh yeah, they look you in the eyes.
Hey, how you doing? It's like,
hi, welcome.
What are you trying to do to me?
Good morning. Yeah.
You're like, who?
What are you talking to?
Who are you talking to? What do you mean? What are you saying? What are you saying? They're like, I hope you have a nice day. What is that? What is that supposed to mean? You being smart?
That's a true East Coast thing.
Yeah.
No one's friendly.
Yeah. Nah, you don't get it.
Point.
You're like
straight to the point. You gotta kind of get used to that. Kind of get used to that kind of thing. All right, so I got some more questions. I got questions just for you as actors, right? And we'll start with you. Film or TV? Like, which one do you like better? Do you want to get into more? Or
I know they're so often like put together as film and television. So it's just like,
but it's
yes, I like film and television. Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of film is like, I would say what I grew up with watching films that I was just taken by and thought, I want to be able to bring that experience to other people.
Yeah.
But as we've gone through our, I don't know, within our lifetime at least, seeing the way television has, shifted and moved in these epic series that have come out, now I am like, oh yeah, TV would be fantastic. I mean, I work in live TV, so seeing what that takes versus a long narrative script, that shoots over 6 months, is I don't know if I can choose that one's better than the other. I do like, it feels like I used to watch films more, and now I'm like, oh, I can grab an episode here and there, if you kind of compare it that way. So it makes me then kind of gravitate towards TV or series. But whatever's the best conduit to tell a story and touch people's lives is whatever form that comes in. I'm here for it.
Right.
So,
Kazi, what do you think? Film, TV, film?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. He was like, no, the whole time he's like, film is going to be. Why film?
Well, first off, I'm a indie filmmaker myself. So, I write and I've directed, produced. I do what I have to do. I prefer the creativity that is allowed in film.
Okay.
Like a lot of I think I've worked on all but one series. Like the producers on Sneaky Pete were very flexible in dialogue, and I really appreciated that because as an actor, a lot of times you'll read what's on the page and you're like, how am I supposed to say that with a straight face? For real.
Kayla, I think you've done that as well.
Yeah,
You read it and you're like, what? Whereas, I'll never forget this moment when I worked on Equalizer 2, first time meeting Antoine Fuqua. He walks up to the Popes, which are like, we were the bad guys in the film, right? There was like three of us. And he walked up. It was like the first scene we were shooting together. And he's like, what's up, fellas? What did we say in the scene today? And I was like, there's no scripted lines, right? And, before that moment, I had always, I would ad-lib a little bit here and there. But when I realized that, like, here is this, A-list, he's an A-list Hollywood director.
Yeah.
And he walks up and he's like, what are we saying in the scene when there's no line scripted? I was like, well,
okay,
there's a lot we could say. You know what I mean? So like all of a sudden, like you start to shift and you realize that film is, I think, more of like an inclusive creative process, right? Okay. Where you do have flexibility and you can create more of a character. Whereas I feel like a lot of television, they're working. They got time. They don't have the time.
I was going to say time.
They're like, okay,
more
this
regimented.
person looks like it. Did they say the line? Yes, they said the line. All right, moving on.
Good
right?
enough,
And you're like, and you kind of just get put into the machine. Whereas I feel like with film, and obviously you're part of the machine in the film too. You're still a cog in the wheel. But when you do the smaller productions or like when I'm directing, I worked on a film that I released and I was directing and I told the actors, I was like, all right, this is what's written. I was like, I don't care. I was like, get the point across to me the way that you would say it.
So, and that was going to be my question. Like, do you ad-lib as actors? Is that a lot? You could answer this as well as a director. Does that, obviously you just said it doesn't, but does that, kind of piss off the director if you're not reading what they wrote,
Well, that's the writer, yeah.
Oh, the writer, like,
some places
does that?
You must do it word perfect.
Okay.
So it kind of depends on.
Do you know that before you go in?
It depends on everybody has their own different style, right?
Okay.
So I prefer working I prefer working with directors who give me the flexibility to create, and maybe the script to me comes across, the character works. I'm like, this is yeah. I don't. Okay. But then sometimes you'll read, and it happens a lot on the indies.
Okay.
You're like, I got to talk to you, right? Mm-hmm. And I'll do that, and I'll tell them ahead of, like, when I get the script, there'll be like a table read or something, and I'll just say, hey, look, I ad lib a lot. I'll let you know kind of where I'm headed.
Yeah. And,
you can stop me if you think it's too much or whatever, but, it's just how you approach it, right? Like, it's not disrespectful. Like, where you're just like, your script, that sucks. No, you don't do that. Yeah. But you're like, hey, I have an idea and I'm going to try it. Let me know what you think. And I'll be like, this is kind of where I'm headed. And, depending on the style, I've had other directors be like, yeah, it's good. You're good. Just say it the way it was. And I'm like, all right, cool. So everybody has like a different
And I will say, getting to be a scene partner, with that, like to what you asked earlier about being John and Jen and our relationship together, that just like some beautiful like moments are born just
Yep.
by being present with what is, because he says something that I didn't see coming from the script specifically, and I'm able to go, okay, like now we're doing this, and it's able to bring me out. So it's very, I really enjoy working like that, and why I've like enjoyed working with Kazi. It's very fun.
Was it one of those things that just kind of, like you said, just kind of blossomed, not knowing, like we said, you knew each other but didn't know each other. You the first time you got to come on scene together, did it just like all of a sudden just come together and you're just like, wow, I don't, did that happen, or was it a work? You had to work it up, or?
No, I felt like we were good. We were ready. I felt like we didn't have like shit. I felt like you knew Jen. You knew where you were coming from. Yeah. I knew where I was coming from. And with, like even with Cowboy, like I think what happens is like, if you are comfortable working a certain way, or you're really in it as the character, then like ad-libbing doesn't even feel like you're actually feeling like you're conversing as the character, right? And you say things that just naturally come to you, which I think can create a level of authenticity that, I'm not degrading writers at all, like of scripts. Like, some people are incredibly good at writing dialogue, but there's levels to it. So like sometimes like actors can bring something as the character to dialogue that the writer would have never thought of, that the director might have never thought of. Yeah. So being able to work that way, I think it's just about committing to who you're playing, and then seeing where it goes. And you might make magic. They might be ready to yell cut, and you're like,
no, let's finish this. Let's keep going.
Let's see where we're gonna go with this. And then what helps actually then when you're in post-production, your editing room, and you're like, you know what? Let's move that up. Yeah. Let's change the dynamic of the scene a little bit. Let's spice it up. So let's take this little thing that they ad-libbed and let's throw that, and it helps, I think, to create, it helps post-production. In other ways,
like you said, that's what it really creates. So we got to ask kind of off screen here. Courtney, we got to ask you, like, right? You're not on camera, but they'll be able to hear you. What do you think? Did they have that connection?
Well, so we've spoken about Kayla, Kazi, and Cowboy together as a group. They get along as humans and are very comfortable with each other. So the vulnerability that comes with acting is like very safe for them. And they played. They play well. There's a whole sequence, and it's not even it's on the Instagram. It's not in this short, where it's a whole scene of Kazi and Cowboy that is improvised, the whole thing. And
it's so good.
It must have been funny.
Oh my god,
it's so good.
They're sad. I can't use the language that I would normally use to describe, but they're so funny. And what was great about shooting that scene is that all the boys from the Firehouse were lined up against the wall behind the camera. And these two idiots are just like, and so we're blessed that we're friends off camera, and that we take each other seriously on a professional level, and that we're willing to play. We're willing to dive into it and see what we get without judgment.
Well,
so there's very much a lack of ego.
I love that. I love that.
I love that. The story.
I love that. I love that. So we keep hearing the name Cowboy, and I guess everyone pretty knows, but I guess if you're not in UFC and don't know that world, then you may not. Who's Cowboy? Right? I know who Cowboy is, but if you're not in that, for listeners that aren't in that world, like, who is this person that we keep hearing?
Who is Cowboy?
Cowboy.
He's a UFC legend. Is he a Hall of Famer yet?
Yes.
Yeah. Hall of Famer. Will probably go down, and he's just super, super recognizable.
Yeah. Beat the crap out of a lot of people. It was great watching too.
Yeah, but he was an entertainer though. That was the thing. He almost had that. He almost had like that WWE level of charisma charisma
Yep.
when he would fight, and that made him.
But it was real.
Yeah, right, yeah. But that punch hurt. But it's so like I think that it's funny, you know, coming from the fight world and transitioning, like, cause I also used to box, but Golden Gloves, not.
Yeah.
But being able to like put that fighting instinct to like the side, which exists, you always have that, right? And he always has. It's funny that you get little hints of it. Any of my former like friends fighting caliber, like will have you see the little hints. You're like, oh, I see you.
Yeah.
But being able to work with Cowboy in this other type of element.
Okay.
And what Courtney was saying about us ad-libbing the entire scene, it's about like letting Cowboy be himself.
Yeah.
In that.
And just for the listeners, what role does he play? Right? You're Jen. You're Johnny. Where does he fall in? What is he playing? What is he doing?
He is basically Benny, who is a fictional character, kind of an amalgamation.
Okay.
I think of multiple characters that were in John's life. Right?
Okay.
And basically and Johnny Mac plays his best friend.
Okay.
So he's also a fireman. And also his partner in advocacy, which in the story does create a bit of a rift, because Jen and Benny are kind of on opposite sides of what John should be doing.
Okay.
So there's a very interesting kind of like dynamic between the three.
Between all of that.
And I think that Cowboy with his background brings an authentic, and he also does know firefighting too. Okay. So Cowboy brings an authenticity to that role that, like, I think if we would just cast like some actor, right, without that same level of experience, because when you meet firefighters, shake their hand, right?
Yeah,
that's right.
You can tell.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right. There's a different hand, and it's the same when you meet a fighter. It's a different handshake.
Okay.
Right. There's I don't know. I mean, there's a hardness.
Yeah.
Right. There's
That's
a strength.
Yep.
Right. An innate strength. Not like I don't need to squeeze your hand. I just innately know. You get that handshake. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right.
We already know.
And I think that that's why the Benny character, and that's why Cowboy playing Benny, I think, is really important, because he does bring that hardness. He does bring that level of fighter strength, which I think firefighters have. Firefighters have fighter strength.
Yeah.
Because literally, it's a firefighter, firefighter, right? Firefighter, right?
That's right.
So you go into that. You're going into you're going into danger willingly, right?
Yes.
When you're a fighter, you are going into danger willingly. There's
right.
a lot of
right.
there's a lot of correlation. There's a lot of overlap. So
you always just, we've said this on the show many times. You're always scared. There's no firefighter in the world that I know is not scared, but it doesn't hinder your job. Yeah. Right? I still got to do a job. I am scared. Who wouldn't be scared running into a burning building? That's scary. Yeah. But it's not going to hinder my job. I'm still got to do what I got to do and get this fire out, protect life and property, whatever I got to do. I got to take care of that. So, all right, I got a couple of go ahead.
Because it's the same. You train how you fight how you train.
That's right.
Yeah.
So, you feel that.
Yeah.
But because you've trained, because
muscle
you've done
memory.
it, you lock in. Yeah. And you do what needs to be done, and that's why I think there's so much. There's a lot of overlap, and I really enjoyed being able to work with someone who had that level of experience, because you want that confidence in like a scene partner. So like firefighter stuff, second nature to him, and I think that I think it really came across in the scene that we worked together. Yeah, like because he brought himself to that, and that's why it felt like you're just kind of watching two people have a conversation, as opposed to like two people like acting in a scene.
I love that. I love that.
I'm not trying to sweat myself. Or like, you know.
All right, so let's, as you see, you know, when we're on this show, we kind of go all over the place, right? We were in the flashover game, then we just started a conversation. That's what I feel the listeners love about this show. We just talk, right? So I gotta still ask some questions, right, for the flashover. And if you don't know it, just say you don't know it, right? But this is more movies and TVs, which is gonna be interesting because normally we have firefighters on this side answering this question, and they're answering it from which one they like versus you can answer it from which one you like and the acting piece of it, right? So I'm going to go through some firefighter TV shows. I don't know how many of you watch firefighter TV shows. Many? Not many?
Not many.
You? Not many?
There
a little bit?
really haven't been that many.
I mean, they're older, so we're going to go. Let you hear them. If you're not sure, then we'll stop, right? All right. Chicago Fire Rescue Me. Do you know those shows?
Rescue Me.
Rescue Me all day?
Me,
Rescue Me
yes.
all day? Do you?
I mean, that's I'm not super familiar with those.
Okay, no, and that's
I
fine.
know
That's
of
fine.
them.
You know of them, but you're going Rescue Me no matter what, right? How about Rescue Me or Third Watch? Anybody saw that?
I did not watch
Not
that.
so then we're sticking with Rescue Me.
Yeah.
All right. Movies now. Let me know. So for firefighters, and if you haven't seen it, that's probably going to be your homework when you leave here, right? Backdraft or Ladder 49. Have you seen those?
Backdraft.
Yeah, Backdraft.
You're going Backdraft. So let me just let you know, Backdraft is like the Bible for firefighters, right?
Oh, yeah.
So we're going Backdraft. Some people like Ladder 49. Some people, you know, because they say it's more true and more, you know, a little bit more, but Backdraft is Backdraft.
I mean, it's so epic, like it's, you know what I mean?
And it has this like nostalgia to it. I worked at Universal Studios for a long time, so also like.
Oh, it was like big, huge things, and you see them there with the.
Well, the fact that it was like an arson, that there was that whole aspect of like there's this, you know, there's someone that's doing this. Yeah. And then when they threw Sutherland in there, all creepy, like, I mean, there's a lot in that movie. There's a lot to, you know, I'm sure, you know, from a firefighting perspective, it's probably, you know, shut the door for heat, you know, that there's probably a lot.
But it was, that was what firefighters usually don't like about Backdraft. Let me tell you right now, there's no way that you're running through flames. It just doesn't happen. Yeah. Right? It's pitch black. You see nothing. Right? So to see them running through flames, shirt open, running, like, it doesn't work like that. But it's still the Bible. And I'm glad you also a Backdraft because that's good. So now, last question I got to ask you, and the listeners would kill me if I didn't, right? Do you know the difference in any firehouse, the difference from an engine company to a truck company? Do you know that? All right. So let's talk about it, right? So basically the engine is the guys that put the wet stuff on the red stuff. They got the hose, they put the fire out. Truck company, they kind of go in, they got to search for the fire, they search for victims, they ventilate and things like that. Okay. Did in the film, did it go into exactly what, you know, Johnny did as a firefighter? If he was engine, if he was truck.
234.
So he was engine, right? So he was an engine guy. So with that said, if I ask you engine or truck, you got to say engine. So engine or truck.
Yeah, engine
guy. Engine
all the way.
That's what I like. I'm an engine guy. All right, so that's like the standing fight between firefighters. Okay. It's either engine or truck. Are you a truckie or you an engine guy, right?
I mean, you need both. So
you need both. But with us, it's like, hey, an engine guy, right? What the truckies would say about us is we have an umbilical cord, right? Because we go in the fire with a hose. If we get lost, we walk right out. We'll follow that hose out. Versus a truckie is going in there. There's nothing. They're going into pitch black trying to do their searches and things like that, right? But people will say, hey, we're firefighters, not firefinders, right? And they'll go back and forth. But that's always our biggest thing to see, whether you're engine or you're truck. But I loved it. And Johnny was an engine guy. Let's go. But like you said, no matter what, you need both. Yeah. You need both to get the job done, right?
Yeah.
All right. So let's keep going. I got another question for both of you, just, you know, actor-wise. Like, what have you been in? What have you done? Anything like, you know, that people would know and can look up, you know, that you've done, Kayla?
A lot of my recent, I came from theater and initially dance and then theater. I did a lot of live performance for many years. Okay. And I've sort of made the switch over the last number of years into film and television. A lot of my projects are still in in production.
Okay.
And things that will be coming out, a lot of like indies and small pieces. So nothing too big and notable yet.
Okay. All right. With time, we'll see it. We'll see it.
Yeah.
How about you, Kazi?
I've done all the New York TV shows from Blue Bloods to Law and Order to Blind Spot to, I did Sneaky Pete back in the day, all that stuff. And then Equalizer 2, Dolomite Is My Name. I was in the first John Wick for a little bit. Got shot in the neck.
Oh, I'm looking for it. Everybody's going to be looking for it now.
My most recent release is called Mirror Life, which is a film that I directed about a woman searching for her cousin who disappeared after entering an illegal clinical trial.
Oh, wow.
Where for a miracle drug that goes horribly wrong, and it's almost like if I was to classify it, it's almost like a realistic, almost a zombie origin type of a film. Like what would if there was such a thing that made a person a zombie, what exactly would that look like?
I love a zombie movie. I'm just letting you know.
Okay. Yeah, it's a very different, very different take, but based in real science, mirror life technology, where if you looked it up, you would be able to find it. Mirror life is this creating synthetic life forms to try to, in the film, they try to create the synthetic life form to cure ailments, essentially. And of course,
goes left.
it goes hard left. Hard left. But it's on Amazon and it's on Tubi now if you want to watch it with ads.
Cool. Yeah. All right, so I got a couple questions before we get out of here, right? Just we'll start with you, Cassie. Just Kazi, sorry about that. How has this role changed the way you look at, first responders in the fire service? Like, how has that role changed you?
I don't think playing Johnny has changed my appreciation for first responders as much as just enlightened me even more on the responsibility and the journey, and the risk. Like I said, we, especially surrounding 9/11, right? All we saw was the same images over and over and over again. But like being able to see the interpersonal effects, the long-term effects on the community. Yeah. Especially with, Johnny being the government denying what was the reality, and just kind of just reinforce the battle that like, you put your life on the line and then this is how you're treated. Yeah. Wow. By like the government that essentially you were protecting the people for. Yep. And it's a betrayal that I think has happened a lot, unfortunately. Yeah. A lot. Too much. And continues to happen. Yep. And I think that understanding Johnny's journey and Jen's journey, and in the importance of fighting against that type of, I don't know what the word is, maybe malfeasance or corruption, mismanagement, whatever it is, to continue to raise those flags. That's right. And continue to call that out. Because if you don't, it will continue unchecked. That's right. So true. I think it's kind of just seeing not just like that, okay, they do this one thing. It's more than just this one thing. Yeah. Because that you doing that one thing then leads to health risk, that leads to all this other, which then filters down the line. How does that affect that person's family? Right? Like there's this spider like web effect out for any action that anyone. One person. Yeah, it's like this person, then that person, then that person. Everything that you do, it's like that line from Gladiators, like what you do in life echoes in eternity. Right. And I think that's so true because like one decision, one person does, one point in time, the lives they touch, that can change the timeline. The lives of a bunch of people. For thousands, God knows how many. Yeah. Right. But you don't realize it in the moment. So I think the Johnny Mac story is really about finding, doing the right thing when the opportunity arises. That's right. And it might not happen many times for people in their lives, but that one moment that you can choose to do that right thing, whatever it is,
Whether
Right.
you're a first responder, whether you work at Walmart, I don't know what that moment is for everyone's life, but like for John, where it happened with Johnny, like, and it's happening with other people all over the place. And I hope that this story, when it gets out, and we do the feature, because we will, God willing, somehow, some way, someone's going to say we want to help see this into a 90-minute film. That this movie inspires people to choose the path of doing the right thing and making a stand when they see something wrong.
Yeah.
Right.
No matter the adversity.
Yeah.
What they're up
And
against.
whatever it is.
Yeah.
Because, it's like David and Goliath. It's, it's go back biblical.
Like John said, whatever it takes.
Yeah. Whatever it takes. That's right.
Yeah.
So just asking you that same question, has it changed you in any way?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. I mean, not only like getting to see inside of stations and understanding to more detail what goes on, how it goes down, at least through the stories that I've gotten to experience. But like he said, understanding from the perspective of family, loved ones, the ripple effect into everyone that they touch, understanding what it's like to be the person supporting, and that firefighter comes home to.
That's right.
How it affects their legacy and lineage, the ability they have to touch other people's lives that they've never met, the fact that they get to connect with these people across the country and come together in this way. I mean, I also didn't have hardly any understanding of the ripple effects of 9/11 in reference to how these guys got sick, these people, and how that all. I didn't know that aspect of this massive event at all.
And then you learn that from just
much.
doing that. It's
so much.
They didn't tell you.
It was a lot.
There
you go.
They didn't tell you. How are we going to know if you're not told?
No one's told.
We were told very little.
That's right.
Even after the report came out, we still knew very little as the general public. And there's this, I don't know what it is. Is it they feel like the general public can't handle the truth? Maybe. I don't know.
It's still to me, honestly, we don't want to go too much, but it's still not an excuse, right?
Oh,
it's
yeah.
not
That's
excuse.
Absolutely
why
not.
films like this need to be made,
Agreed.
right?
Yeah.
So just talk a little bit about, because you were saying like, you have like the short and everything like that versus making it a feature film. Where are you in the process right now with it? So where is it now? Just for the listeners to know.
So a short has been completed.
Okay.
It's a self-contained piece from Jen's perspective, I would say, right?
Okay.
Beautifully done with voiceover and
is most of the movie from Jen's perspective, or how does that work? Is it just, or is it both? Or is it really her telling the story, or is it him telling the story?
I guess it depends on the iteration of the
script, we've gone through different.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
whether it's from hers,
ways.
at the moment, I think it's more of a telling of the story of kind of what went down. It's not specifically through Jen's perspective, like the short is, but we've definitely looked at the different
ways
possibilities that tell the story.
And with a story like this that's so dynamic and there's so many different angles, but I think what the push now, what is really for, is to tell the story of John's advocacy.
That's right.
Yeah.
And I think that from my perspective, I think that's probably the most important. to reach and to tell this story in that way, to kind of like bring awareness, right? Like you're trying to bring awareness and
bring that in.
I mean, they say never forget, right? And I think that's really important. So if you tell the tale of the advocacy and like the hurdles and your dynamic and understanding the relationship between the two
never
people.
Forget.
Yeah.
People
and one
never
important
forget.
lesson and lessons is in there that's applicable to all time.
Yeah.
Now.
Yeah.
It is never forget.
And you
It's
never forget.
ongoing.
All right. So before we get out of here, I have to ask you all a question that I had put together, right? If you know, there could be one word that captures the heart of this film, right? What would be that word, okay? So I'll give you a second both to think, right? Okay, give you a second to think of one word that could, you know, kind of capture the heart of this film, okay? I'm going to say it at the same time. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3.
Truth. Legacy.
Truth and legacy. I love it. Why do you think, you said truth, you said legacy, right? Why do you think she said legacy? And you know the question is going to come to you. Why do you think he said truth?
Well, because that this is John's legacy, right? What is happening now? This is his legacy. Telling his story is his legacy, right?
Yep, it is, and it's so true. Why do you think he said truth?
That was his fight for the truth. For as many people to know and to get to the truth and to continue that on. So yeah.
I mean, they go hand in hand.
Hand in hand, exactly.
The legacy is told through truth.
And you get to that. Yeah.
The truth is told through the legacy.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Yeah.
All right. So if people want to support this film, how do they go about it? I don't know anyone that wants to take the question, but how do they support? Where do they go? Where can they see the short? Where can they see anything about it? You know, how do they get a hold of it? I mean, we do have the Johnny Mac Foundation, which you could talk a little bit about that as well. But for the film,
Johnny Mac Film, at Johnny Mac Film on Instagram.
Okay.
It is the film. The short is going to be making its way through film festivals.
Okay.
Over the next TBD. After that, where will it land? That's a good producer question.
Yeah. We're gonna get her in there.
Yeah. But we just suggest people follow us on socials.
Yeah, feel free to reach out.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Johnny Mac Film at Gmail, I believe.
Okay.
So if you want to email us.
And then the foundation as well, right? Foundation, I'm pretty sure they'll have links there. You can go there. You can see there. You can donate there. Yep. Big supporter of this Firehouse show. Johnny Mac Foundation. So shout out to Jen. We love you. But listen, thank you so much for coming down to the Firehouse and just telling us about what's going on with the Johnny Mac film. And we're waiting for it. We're ready. We're so ready excited to see it. All right.
Thanks for having us on.
Seriously.
Thank you for support.
This is a blast.
Thank you. All right. So listen, we just heard from Kazi and we heard from Kayla, and they are playing Johnny Mac and they are playing Jen in the Johnny Mac film. I hope you enjoyed the story. They're going, when this film comes out, well, the short first, right? That's what'll come out first. Is that how that works in that world? Like, will the short come out first and kind of build momentum and then the film?
Well, the short film has been submitted to Tribeca.
Okay.
So just it would help us in a lot of ways to be selected, but we're also going to be submitting it to other film festivals, which gives us the opportunity to create a grassroots following.
Okay.
As it rolls out of the festival circuit, then we can make it available more publicly.
Okay.
But ultimately, we're trying to fund and make the feature film. The short film is not and was never the goal, right?
It's the feature.
We're independent completely.
Yeah. So
we're telling.
They're trying to get the story out. So for the listeners, Johnny Mac was one of our own. So you know how we already do. We got to be behind this. We got to push. So what was it? JohnnyMacFilm.com, right?
Johnny Mac Film at Instagram.
All right. So go on Instagram, Johnny Mac Film, look it up, see what it's about, hit those comments, make sure that, you know, we show our support for one of our own. So please make sure you do that. And I'm pretty sure it's going to be an amazing film. I know it will be. All right. Yeah. So listen, for my listeners, for my people out there, I hope you all enjoyed this conversation. Please like, share, subscribe, do all of those things. I am your host, Chris Moses, and please tune in next week to another great conversation in the Firehouse.